I'd like to take a minute and welcome everybody to the YMCA's annual celebration. My name is Christian Engel, and I'm the president and CEO of the YMCA of the Capital Area. Thank you very much for coming tonight. At the YMCA, we like to begin every meeting and every event we do with an opening thought or prayer. So I'd like to invite up Greg Williams, who is our board chair at our ExxonMobil YMCA, to come up and lead us in thought and prayer. Thank you, Greg.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. We're so glad to have you here for our annual YMCA celebration and volunteer recognition. Well, the heat is back on, as everybody can tell. We're quickly falling back into our standard South Louisiana weather pattern. We've got the high humidity, the high temperatures, the afternoon showers are starting to pick up once again. And after that, we get our usual sauna bath in the evening. Coupled with the weather comes, and my bride is not here yet. She's about to walk in. I wanted her to hear this, but coupled with that weather comes the critters. And that's what really drives her bats. Anything crawling, climbing, you know the routine, slithering. So it was only 3 or so weeks ago we were experiencing unseasonably cool weather. We had the cool nights, the cool mornings, and everybody, just about everybody was enjoying it, but a few folks said to me, I sure wish summer would get here. Well, guess what? It's here. And like the old folks used to say, you've got to be careful what you wish for. How short our memories can be. So speaking of memories, who remembers, and just shout it out, who remembers what the C is for in YMCA? Exactly, Christian. So it's popular and it seems politically correct today to speak of our organizations as faith-based without any reference to any one particular faith. However, our YMCA is Christian-based. Just in case you didn't know that and needed to be reminded, we are Christian-based. Now, this definitely doesn't mean we are only receptive and responsive to those that are Christians. It's quite the contrary. We're an inclusive and diverse organization whose doors are open to all faiths and all are welcome. Here at the Y, we espouse Christian values, love, faith, and hope are just a few. However, our focus today is service. So what do you call a modern day servant? A volunteer, of course. The YMCA's engine here in Baton Rouge is fueled by hundreds of volunteers, many who are gathered here today. Without their giving of their time, their talent, their energy and treasure, our mission of service to our community would surely be near impossible. So please join us this evening in recognizing a few of those outstanding individuals. Now, if you would, please join me in prayer. Let's bow our heads. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we gather this evening to give thanks to you and ask the blessings for a very special group of your servants, as well as those they serve. Please give grace, mercy, perseverance, and strength to all those gathered this evening who are providing such a needed service to our community. We pray for the servant and we pray for the served. We pray for unity and harmony, not only in our community, but throughout this world. In Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior's name we pray, and we all said, amen.
Thank you, Greg, for providing the opening thought for us tonight. Really appreciate that. We're going to take a couple minutes, let everybody kind of get started into their salads and get into dinner here, and then we're going to show a short video here in a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started back with the program. Please continue eating. Throughout the evening, we are going to be showing you a couple of videos, some testimonials that really express what the YMCA is doing in our communities today. And so I'd like, if you can, to turn your attention to the screen for our first video.
Terry was a hard-working, dedicated employee working for the Advocate. And just a little over a decade ago, Terry suffered a stroke which dramatically impacted his mobility and his flexibility, but it didn't affect his spirit or his will. And after his insurance-provided physical therapy sessions ended, Terry came to the downtown location through a YMCA Next Step 2-week guest pass.
Oh, well, I came from the Y and everything. His hands made me do a little bit more because they had the machines and some of the people who worked there, you know, they encouraged me to do more. I like to cook, you know. And we start cooking, come in the morning time and everything. And I might share things with Kevin and share things with some of the people up on his staff about cooking. And that will help me talk a little bit. And make my talking a little stronger and stronger and stronger. And all this little stuff, that's what counts. It's not what you do big. All the stuff you do little is what counts.
That's good stuff, brother.
Thank you. To continue into our dinner tonight, we'd like to do the Edward D. Grant Volunteerism Award. I'd like to ask John Stagg to please come up to the stage. John is a past award recipient who's going to recognize our recipient tonight. Thank you, John.
Thank you. As a past recipient of the award, it's an honor to present this award to a very deserving volunteer tonight and a member of the YMCA family. This individual embodies the mission of the Y as a consistent advocate for the YMCA throughout the capital area. He has positively influenced this organization. He provides his time by volunteering in the Y Sports Department, coaching his way through the athletic seasons, and encouraging more people to participate in the Y's programs. Additionally, he graciously contributes money annually to the improvement of the sports programs and all the facilities. Additionally, he is a member of the Y Metro Board of Directors, was a member of the search committee in selecting our new CEO, and is now chairing the Y Strategic Planning Initiative for 2018. This level of dedication and involvement has earned him the Edward D. Grant Volunteerism Award. It is my pleasure to present this year's Edward D. Grant Volunteerism Award to Ricky Blanton.
Let's give Ricky one more hand of applause. Next, I'd like to bring up Edmund Gearing, the YMCA's Metro Board Chair, to give the State of the Y address.
Thank you all for being here tonight. It's been my great pleasure to serve as the chairman of the board of the Metro Y for 2017 and through 2018. And I want to welcome you all to this annual celebration, recognizing many of our volunteers and the accomplishment of the Y in 2017. As you all know, we have wonderful volunteers, staff, and donors who support the Y's cause every day, working side by side with our neighbors. Regardless of age, income, or background, we make certain that everyone has the opportunity to grow and thrive. 2017 was a year of recovery and change for the YMCA of the capital area. After the floods of 2016, the Y was recovering like so many of our friends and neighbors. The most devastating effects for the Y were felt at our C.B. Pennington Jr. Y location. In March of 2017, however, we reopened Pennington to serve that community. Pennington has seen many of its Y friends and family return over the past year, and the greatest impact has been the return of children and families to programs and the expansion of the Y's child care program in that area. In 2017, our CEO of 20 years, Bob Jacobs, retired. Bob led our Y through many years of growth during his tenure, most noticeably the development and opening of the ExxonMobil Y and the Americana Y. Though Bob's retirement was bittersweet, we were excited for the opportunities and new leadership ahead. In April 2017, the Y hired Christian Engel as its new president and CEO. With 27 years of YMCA experience, Christian came to us from New Haven, Connecticut. However, in one short year, he has brought fresh eyes to our Y, a new perspective, and an exciting direction. Additionally, 2017 saw our Y continue to do what we have always done best: impact the lives of the Baton Rouge community. Through after-school and summer camp programs, we continued to provide opportunities for children to build friendships and develop a sense of belonging while having amazing experiences, all in a safe, inclusive, and nurturing environment. Teens were enriched and strengthened by the Y through various programs such as Youth in Government, YMCA Youth Achievers, and attending the Christian Values Conference. Whether teens come to us looking to explore their interests or for support in navigating personal challenges, the Y is committed to nurturing children and teens to ensure they succeed. Through after-school, summer camp, and teen programs, we impacted more than 3,000 youths and teens last year. When kids participate in YMCA youth sports, they learn valuable social and teamwork skills, contributing to a healthier community. More than 7,500 children participated in youth sports, learning valuable character traits such as caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Through the efforts of our staff and volunteers, we provided clothing, food, and toiletry items to the homeless. This tremendous outreach program served more than 8,300 individuals in 2017. Keeping the community healthy while promoting belonging, friendship, and accountability is what separates the Y from other like providers. In 2017, the Y served more than 43,000 individuals through health and wellness programs. And we live in a community where there is an abundance of water, and the Y's swim lesson program provides life-saving skills to make everyone feel confident and safe. Last year, more than 4,700 men, women, and children learned how to swim at our YMCA. More than 15,000 seniors participated in programs to help them remain healthy and strong through exercise and nutrition. All of the above is possible and accessible to the Baton Rouge community and surrounding areas due to the more than 3,600 donors and volunteers, many of whom are here tonight. In addition to the items I mentioned earlier, the Y provided more than $650,000 in financial assistance to individuals and families in 2017. Each of you has a copy of the 2017 annual report, which has the information I shared with you in it. Our hope is that you will share this information with your friends and colleagues to communicate the impact that the Y has in Baton Rouge. And on a personal note, I just want to thank you all for your participation, for your leadership, and for your continued support of the YMCA of the capital area. Keep up the good work, and thank you for being here.
Hi, my name is Robbie Rubin. I belong to the Southside Y and have been going there for around 20 years. In 2013, I found out that I had a congenital defect in my aortic valve and was told that I was going to have open heart surgery. The day after the surgery, the nurses told me it was time for me to stand up, which didn't sound pleasing at all. And with them on either side of me, they were going to lift me. On the count of 3, I rose without their help. And I attribute that to being in good shape. I think being able to have a place to go that is relatively inexpensive is great. I know that the Y has scholarship programs for people who may not be able to afford the full price. The more people that will exercise, the more people it will benefit.
I was joking with the sheriff earlier that when they came looking for volunteers to serve the YMCA, I'm so glad they weren't looking around in the gym because they would not have found me there. But nonetheless, I've been privileged to have served on this board since 2008 and will continue to do so faithfully. At this time, I'd like to ask all the Volunteer of the Year award presenters to please come forward. We'd now like to recognize the YMCA Branch Volunteers of the Year. And once your presenter comes forward, I'll ask as your name is called to please come forward and accept the award and remain at the front for a photo.
Thank you. I'm Don Clark. I get to work with a number of the Ys, and right now I get to talk about Jeff Soa at the Americana Y. Jeff's been volunteering with our association swim team for several seasons. He's become an integral part of what we call it, the YBR swim team at the Americana branch. During the 2017 season, he basically took on the role of head coach as a volunteer, dedicated countless hours during the season coaching multiple swim team practices a week. During that season, he received the Coach's Award, which is given to the coach that has gone above and beyond during the season. Parents and coaches who have had the opportunity to work with him recognize and appreciate all the hard work and effort to help build and sustain the Y Baton Rouge swim team at the Americana Y. Jeff Soa. All right. In case you didn't remember, I'm Don Clark. All right, it's my pleasure. Pastor Joseph Moore. Where's Pastor Moore? Pastor Moore, come on up. You just heard about the great things that our association does with working for the homeless. Over 8,000 people have been impacted by the work that is done by this gentleman right here. At the A.C. Lewis Y, this individual stands out for his compassionate and dedicated work toward the Y's Homeless Outreach Program. He is the Homeless Outreach Program. He distributes donations of clothes, bedding, toiletries, and other basic needs. He works with the bicycle program, and on Sundays, you go on out there at 17th in Florida, and you'll see Pastor Moore conducting Sunday services for the homeless in our community. Pastor Moore's true inspiration exhibits qualities and motivation the Y strives to inspire within our staff and members. Pastor Joseph Moore.
Good evening. My name is Edric Martin with the Barranco Clark YMCA, and it gives me great pleasure to get Denise Bennett. Come on up. Great pleasure tonight to introduce our Volunteer of the Year. Zanetta Denise Bennett's service to the Barranco Clark YMCA has been exemplary since joining the board in 2016. She's been always full of passion and desire to serve. She always wants to serve meaningfully, in a meaningful way. When there were voids in our leadership, she was quick to volunteer to help fill those voids. In addition to serving as the branch finance chair, she has also volunteered to take on several other duties and roles to assist our Y to grow. Since joining the board, her attendance at our board meetings has been near perfect. She is eager to serve in any capacity that she is asked. Her willingness to serve is a vital part of moving our branch forward. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our volunteer, Zanetta Denise Bennett.
Good evening. My name is Josh Landry. I'm the Executive Director of the C.B. Pennington Junior YMCA. Our Volunteer of the Year is Colette Dean. Colette was and continues to be a driving force in the recovery of the C.B. Pennington Junior YMCA from the historic flood of 2016. From pulling weeds to scrubbing floors, she has consistently volunteered her time, talents, and treasure to the YMCA. Colette has graciously agreed to chair several campaigns and committees and currently serves as our branch board chair. She has done everything in her power to promote our YMCA, even meeting with community leaders to advocate on our behalf. Colette is our branch volunteer of the year because she's always gone above and beyond to make the YMCA the best it can be. Colette's son graduated from medical school this past weekend and is now on the way to start his residency in California. So unfortunately, she is not here to accept this award, so I accept it on her behalf. Colette Dean with the YMCA. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Broussard, the branch director of the downtown Charles W. Lamar Jr. YMCA. Honoring this today, Rowdy Godet. Rowdy Godet has served on the Charles W. Lamar Jr. YMCA Board of Directors since 2011 and is currently serving as board chair for the second consecutive year. He has consistently volunteered his time and talents to the areas of the Y, including Board Development Committee, the annual campaign, and our December fundraiser known as the YMCA Gingerbread Jog. Rowdy's dependability and determination to improve our downtown location has made him a great asset to our branch. Thus, the YMCA of the capital area is honored to present Rowdy Godet the 2017 Charles W. Lamar Jr. YMCA Volunteer of the Year Award.
All right, so I also have the pleasure of serving with the Dow West Side YMCA. So at this time, I want to recognize Ms. Tasia Scheller. Come on up. Tasia Scheller has demonstrated a phenomenal capacity in what it means to be a YMCA volunteer. She joined our Y in April of 2017, and 3 months later, we roped her into chairing our annual auction. Tasia generously volunteered to chair the Dow West Side annual auction and coordinated volunteers and also helped to increase the proceeds of that event and the attendance from the prior year. She played an instrumental role in helping to ensure that that event was successful. Though she may be fairly new to our board, you would never know it based on her service. The Dow West Side YMCA is fortunate to have such a volunteer, someone who's eager and willingness to serve, such as Tasia Scheller. Please join me in congratulations, Tasia.
Ann Clark. Come up here. Well, Ann, I'm Ron Smith. I'm the Executive Director at the ExxonMobil Y, and it is my pleasure to honor this young lady that we're honoring tonight, Ms. Annie Clark. Annie has consistently been the rock and clear leader of many successful fundraising events for the ExxonMobil YMCA. For the past four years, Ann has been the pilot in driving fundraiser for our youth development programs, and his ticket sales alone, Annie's alone, not her team's, alone has been more than other ticket sales combined for the entire committee. Even if that meant purchasing the tickets herself. You didn't know we knew that, Annie. And giving them away to families in need. She also heads the Young Men of Honor program at her local church, which has served many young men, not only in the YMCA, but in the surrounding communities as well. Annie is a true example of putting Christian principles into practice, and our branch is commonly known as Sunshine. And I'd like to present Ann Clark as a recipient this year.
Good evening. I'm Kerry Wilkerson, and I represent the Paula G. Manship YMCA. And tonight we're going to recognize Kenneth Casso, who's been an active volunteer with the Paula G. Manship YMCA since the spring of 2017. He coaches baseball during our spring and summer seasons, and despite not having any children or grandchildren in our program, he gives of his time willingly. Kenny moved here several years ago to the Baton Rouge area as a result of a job situation, and he reached out to me personally and asked about what he would need to do to be a volunteer coach with our organization. And when I found out he was from Alabama, I said, well, you can't say Roll Tide or War Eagle. You have to say Go Tigers. And as long as you can say Go Tigers, that will qualify you as a coach. And so, like I said earlier, Kenny is the exception to the fact that most of our volunteer coaches are moms and dads in the community. And so the fact that he gives of his time without really having any children connected to our program, we felt like that he deserved this recognition. And so we're excited to recognize Kenneth Casso, Coach Kenny, as this year's Paula G. Manship YMCA Volunteer of the Year.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Casey, and tonight I'm wearing my Southside YMCA hat. Sandra Pilgrim, would you please come on down? Sandra was the 2017 chair of the Southside Gala Committee, and despite a few last-minute staff transitions in October, was able to help us with a new record and raise over $24,000 for the Southside Y with their gala event last October. Sandra and her entire team worked tirelessly and added a live auction event component to last year's event to make it the success that it was. We applaud Sandra, and we sincerely thank her for the many hours of hard work and service you put in to make that gala the event that it was. It's my honor to present Sandra Pilgrim as Southside's Volunteer of the Year.
If we can, let's give our Volunteers of the Year one more round of applause. Thank you. And if you'll turn your attention to the screens, we're going to show another video.
Nancy Tanios Yakub, and I go to the YMCA off of Old Hammond. It's the CB Pennington Jr. I was very athletic growing up. I used to work as an intelligence analyst for the Department of Justice before having kids, and that was always the plan. But after my second pregnancy, I got physically sick. I had 3 fractures in my back and 3 bulging discs. I couldn't move for 4 months and a half. And it took me about 2 years to get to a point where I'm back on track. First, I didn't think it was possible because with only my husband working, making about $40,000 a year, we didn't think it was possible for us to put them in sports. So that led me to the YMCA. I needed to get better and I needed to be there for the boys. So somebody led me to the YMCA, and when I went there, I didn't think it was possible, but they did actually tell me that they had a financial assistance. We applied for it. And I started coaching. I am not defined by my back anymore. I get to be who I am. These kids push me to do the best, and I want to do the best for them. And this is why we go to the Y. This is what led us to the Y. This is what keeps us at the Y. It's our family, it's our gym, and it's our second home.
Next, we'd like to present the Myron Falk Fundraising Award. I'd like to ask John Ryan Nader to come up and present this award. John was a previous winner of this award, so thank you, John.
Thank you, Christian. It's an honor to present this award as a past recipient and to an old friend. This individual continually goes above and beyond for the YMCA of the capital area on a daily basis. He was an integral part of raising the capital funding needed for the Americana YMCA. In addition to helping with bringing the Americana YMCA to fruition, he continues to donate to the Y as a $10,000 sponsor of the Taste of Zachary event, a $3,000 sponsor of the Y's Beyond the Green golf tournament, and has raised nearly $10,000 for the Y's annual community campaign. He also serves on the Y's Strategic Planning Committee and is his branch's board chair. And I can assure you that each member of that board is thankful to have him. Please help me in congratulating Ryan Inquist as this year's Myron Falk Fundraising Award recipient.
My name is Dr. Josephine Allen. I go to the YMCA at the Paula G. Manship branch. I've been there about 1.5 years. I was participating in Women's Week about 2 years ago, and they had a free pass to go to the YMCA. At that time, I was walking with a cane. I was well received. The instructor did act like she didn't see me on a cane, so that was helpful. And the people that were in there didn't act like, oh my God, what is she in here for? What does she think she can do? And here I am today, over 1.5 years later, 40 pounds lighter. Still have pain, but I can walk without a cane. When I walk in the Y, I read the Bible. And when I leave the Y, I read the Bible. And I noticed that everyone that was in there, they had ways like the Bible would want you to be. You know, they're kind, they're respectful, they're uplifting. And it's a place, like once I leave the Y and I'm out here in the world, it's rough. There are things that people will tell you and do to you that you don't want to happen to you, but it doesn't happen here. So I feel safe. It's a happy place for me.
Let's give Ryan another round of applause for his great support of our Y. Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Ricky Harriman up to give an update on our endowment.
like to say congratulations to all the award winners tonight. What a great job contributing back to the Y. The endowment fund of the YMCA of the capital area was created in 1998. It was created to protect your organization even during times of economic trouble and guide and guard our assets for the future. In a world that changes rapidly, your YMCA has been at the heart of this community for generations. In the 101 years since the YMCA was founded, thousands of our community members have personally benefited from the Y's commitment to strengthening our community. The beauty of our endowment fund is that your gift has a meaningful and, more importantly, enduring impact right in your own neighborhood. A healthy Y capable of making significant impact in the community is a gift we have received from prior generations, and is a gift that we need to pass along in a stronger position for future generations. And if you want to know the value and the reason we have an endowment, all you had to do was listen to Edmund give you the story of the Y over this last year, or sit back and think of what this community would be if we did not have a YMCA in Baton Rouge. The endowment is an extremely important part of our YMCA. As of today, the balance in your YMCA's endowment fund has grown to $4,380,000. These funds are held in the Baton Rouge Area Foundation. In addition to these funds, we had deferred estate and life insurance plans that are dedicated up to $446,000, bringing the cash and pledged balance to $4,826,000. Your endowment committee is committed to raising up to the $5 million level before pursuing using these endowment funds for further adventures. The endowment is made possible by numerous donations, of which 45 members are part of a Cornerstone Club. The Cornerstone Club is a group that has contributed or pledged a minimum of $25,000. And you can do this in several different ways. Many of you were welcome to join the Cornerstone Committee. It's a $1,000 a year commitment for 25 years, or $25,000 up front. We would love to have everybody in this room become a part of that endowment and become a Cornerstone Club member. All you need to do is talk to Christian, a branch executive, one of the board members, myself, anyone. We will be glad to welcome you to our group. Thank you all that currently support and donate to the YMCA, and thank you for making it a better place for our Baton Rouge community.
Thank you, Ricky. So tonight we're going to do something just a little bit different, although I think the whole evening's been a little bit different, but we're going to do something a little different tonight and talk about our annual campaign. So the YMCA raises a little over $500,000, I think close to $600,000 every year to provide financial assistance to the families and the children in our communities. And we wanted to recognize our branches tonight on the success they've had with their annual campaign. I've had a couple of board members that have said, when are we going to hear? When are we going to hear? When are we going to hear? And so I told them tonight's the night. So I want to make sure we recognize our volunteers for the work that they've done. So I'd like to recognize first the Barranco-Clark YMCA. Barranco-Clark raised $40,700 this year, which put them just over 100% of their goal this year. So congratulations. Our Southside YMCA has raised $48,848. Our AC Lewis Y has raised $115,364. And that put them right at 102% of their goal. Our CW Lamar Y, our downtown branch, has raised $27,413. Our Dow Westside Y has raised $42,839. And that put them right at 101%. Our CB Pennington YMCA has raised $55,784. Our Apology Manship YMCA has raised $53,895. ExxonMobil, and I know Ron's going to correct me on this because I think it's higher than this now. I have $27,125. Where's Ron at? What is it now, Ron? You're like what, 31, 32? Yeah, 31,500 would push them at 100% of goal. And Ron, I believe that's the first time, right? Great job. Our Americana YMCA, $41,466. And that put the Americana Y at 104% of their goal. And then our Lamar Tennis Center, $19,000. So total raised to date is $501,124. So congratulations to everybody here. And we still have a number of things that are going on. We have our golf tournament coming up. I know all of our branches have special events getting ready to happen, all that goes towards helping to send these kids to camp and provide the support that we need. So thank you very much for your hard work. All right. So now we get to the part that terrifies my wife more than anything, which is to put a mic in front of me and give me, I think I have a half hour left before you guys get to go, so. And when I walked in the door, I told Kristen that my speech was about 16 pages, so I think she was going to fall over too, but I think we'll get through it. So again, what a great evening. 2017 was a very exciting time for our Y. I was trying to think about what to say tonight. I kept coming back to two things that I'd heard in other speeches during the last year. One was from the service of a friend whose parent passed away. I'm paraphrasing, but it was, if you take care of others, you will never have to worry about being taken care of yourself. This quote was read at the service of William Joseph Billy Harriman Sr. by one of his grandsons. What I took out of this was that the more you do for others or support others, good things will come back to you. As I sat there with my wife, I told her, that's an impactful statement. It made me think of the great work the Y does, its great volunteers, and its tremendous staff. Sometimes we do our work and forget about the impact we are having on individuals every day. It is so easy to get caught up in budgets, registrations, staff issues, and members. We sometimes lose sight of the fact that we are changing people's lives every day. We don't teach kids how to swim so they can be swimmers on a swim team. We teach them how to swim so that they can be safe in and around the water in an effort to reduce drowning in our state. We don't teach kids how to play baseball or soccer so they can be a college athlete. We teach them how to be a good teammate, respect adults, and care for the other kids around them. We have to always strive to stay focused on what is important. It doesn't make the business less important, but focusing on the why keeps us moving. Doing these things will come back to us with a better and safer community, in addition to donors and funders who want to see the Y continue to flourish and grow in our communities. A couple weeks ago, Edmund Gearing, our board chair, and I had the opportunity to go to Chicago and network with other Y volunteers from all over the country. We got a chance to network with board chairs and also other professionals, and to hear a speech from our CEO at YUSA, Kevin Washington. While there, we had a chance to hear Magic Johnson speak about the impact the Y had on his life while growing up in Lansing, Michigan. What impacted me the most is, although he talked about basketball and learning to play basketball at the YMCA, the stories he kept coming back to were his times at camp, making a lanyard, doing crafts, and he joked about the fact that every day he had to go and do crafts because he couldn't go play basketball until he did the crafts. And he shared how to this day his mother still has all of this Y paraphernalia that he did as a camp kid. And you think about that, here's probably one of, arguably probably one of the best basketball players in the world, and he's sharing his Y camp story, not just his Y basketball story. And he shared that every year or every week or every month, depending on what he was doing, when he was in college, he would always come home and play at the Lansing Y. And when he was in the pros, when he was in the off season, he would always come back to the Lansing Y and play basketball and practice and keep his skills up. And I just thought that was very impactful for here's, this tremendous professional athlete. And he just continued to speak about how the Y helped mold him into the man he is today. While there, we also got to hear an announcement from YMCA in regards to its commitment to America, and I wanted to share that with you guys tonight. So Kevin Washington, our CEO, unveiled what's going to be the new commitment for the YMCA to America. And that commitment is going to be to raise new generations of change makers who are capable of creating the kinds of communities we all want to live in. I'm going to say that one more time. To raise new generations of change makers who are capable of creating the kinds of communities we all want to live in. I mean, that's a powerful statement. That's not, we're going to grow sports, or we're going to try to increase our summer camps, or, how can we get more members in our doors? It's how can we protect the future of our communities in the cities that we live in. It was powerful in a sense, again, of just continuing down this generational path for us. And more importantly, it's about making an impact. I'm excited to see what resources YUSA is going to give us that will allow us to help move that forward. In 2017, the Y made the decision to move forward with the development of a strategic plan. That work is continuing today, and we hope to have a final product in front of our board for approval in June of this year. We have 10 volunteers representing each branch in our Metro Board working on this plan for the association. This is the first time our Y has implemented something like this in more than 15 years. It's not your traditional 5-year plan either. It's what we call a real-time strategic plan, one that will be fluid and adaptable to our changing communities. The committee, along with feedback from more than 80 individuals represented in focus groups, are looking at bold goals to propel our Y forward. They're talking about things like addressing the increasing academic disparity among kids in our communities, reaching diverse and underserved and isolated communities so they feel supported by the Y, working on community support systems that are not keeping pace with the changing demographics and family structures, and helping people achieve their personal health and well-being goals by partnering with stakeholders. These are much different goals than grow programs from 100 kids to 200 kids. These goals will allow us to demonstrate our impact on our communities. We're also looking at our footprint in Baton Rouge. We're evaluating our facilities. We're evaluating their ability to impact our communities. What resources do we need to achieve those impacts? And also, where do we go next? So a lot of things are happening right now within our organization, and all very exciting things. Again, not the traditional, we need to fix our roofs or replace the pool conversations, but addressing our ability to impact our communities through our facility structures. We mentioned earlier about Ricky Blanton, who's chairing our strategic planning committee. If any of our members of our strategic planning committee are here, will you please stand up just to be recognized for the hard work you guys are doing? I shared with a group that probably one of the more terrifying things to do is to let a group of volunteers decide your future. And that's basically what we're doing. Shanna, who's our Director of Business Services and also my assistant, she and I see these emails flying around between volunteers, and we're both like, are we okay with this? And we're like, well, we don't really have much control in this. But these are the kind of conversations that they're having, and it excites me to be a part of an organization where the volunteers are really moving beyond the bricks and mortar and beyond the treadmills and beyond the pools, and really looking at what could the YMCA be in our community. So it's an exciting time. I also talked about the facility piece, and I do want to take a moment and recognize Scott Mabry, who's a Metro Board member and the Chief Operating Officer at Auctioneers Baton Rouge, who's chairing that committee. Scott, will you please stand up? Can't see him. There he is. There he is over there. So thank you. And this is another committee. We haven't even talked about bricks and mortar or what our roofs look like. We're really looking at what kind of impact can our facilities have in our communities through facility design. So that's, again, another exciting conversation for us to be having. And we have 8 volunteers sitting around the table of that committee, and it's a mixture of people who are on a branch board and some that are not on any of our boards. We wanted to make sure we had a diverse group that was sitting at that table and looking at that. So again, we're excited about that work. And this brings me to the second quote I heard while listening to speeches this past year. Actually, 2 quotes in one. Whatever you do, do with enthusiasm, and everything you do matters. I heard this at my daughter's, I can never say this word, baccalaureate program the other night. And it was by Dee Dee Bro, the LSU women's gymnastics coach. So I understand that to accomplish great things, you have to have great energy and purpose. Our Y is transforming right now before our eyes. We are becoming a Y that is passionate about what we do and that passion has to shine through everything else. It has to matter. It can never be enough just to show up. We have to perform. When I first started as a CEO, I gave each member of our staff team a book by Simon Sinek called Better Together. I'm not sure if they all read it, but based on some emails I received, I know that many did. The premise of the book is to capture the journey that inspires us to work together, to have a shared vision that inspires us to go to work every day. At that meeting, I spoke about a strategic plan and changing the way we think about our work every day. We are one step closer to those conversations being a reality. I am hopeful that our staff and the volunteers are recognizing those conversations. Again, I'm excited for our future. We are truly an impactful organization. I'm greatly appreciative of the responsibility I have been given to lead our Y into the future, and thank you to all of you for trusting me with this resource. Thank you. As we wrap up for the evening, there are a few people I would like to recognize. One, Edmund Gearing, who's our Metro Board Chair, who's been tireless in keeping me on track, but also just in being supportive in our everyday work. So thank you, Edmund. I'd also like to ask our Metro Board and all of our branch board members to please stand up. So thank you very much for your dedication and service. This is where the real work of the YMCA happens, so thank you. I'd also like to thank the staff. So if our staff team, if you're a staff member of the Y, would you please stand up? These guys are in the trenches every day making this happen. And to acknowledge some of the people that are here tonight, I want to make sure I recognize our photographer, I Wander Photography, our audiovisual, American AV, our videographer, Stuart Polton, ProGap. Printing was Brian Balhoff at the Balhoff Group. Our marketing interns, and I'm going to ask them to stand up. Ivy Hamilton, Cameron Salter, Brittany Duquette, and Dana Stanton. Where are they? Two over there. These girls are a great group of girls. I mean, they come in a couple hours a week and they just knock out everything, and they really do a great job, and I know they help keep Kristen Hogan, our marketing director, sane most of the weeks. Not every week, but most of the weeks. Lastly, I do have two special thank yous tonight. We discussed earlier about the strategic plan work this past year. One person who has gone above and beyond to keep that group on track and organized is our Director of Business Services and my assistant, Shanna Duke. Shanna, will you please come up here? It sounds funny, but she sits in a room and listens to 10 people talk and fill out 39 flip charts, and she's got to take all of that and compile it into notes and minutes that we can all read and make sense of. So, Shanna, I just wanted to thank you in front of everybody for your hard work. Thank you. And then lastly, I have to thank Kristen Hogan. Without her, tonight would not have gone over. She's the one that put all of this together. She does the videos, she gets the photographers, the signs, the awards. She writes all of this stuff that I'm reading tonight and just puts everything together. So Kristen, please come up here so we can thank you as well. So again, the YMCA is a volunteer-driven organization. It was founded by volunteers and continues to be run by volunteers. I make the joke at home privately that, every 2 years I have to pick who my next boss is going to be. Not everybody has that stress in their lives, but I'm very fortunate to work with some great volunteers and some great individuals at the Metro Board level. And my next boss is going to be Chris Spencer. So Chris, please stand up and you can wave to everybody. But again, we have a great Metro Board. We have great branch volunteers. And again, I appreciate everybody's support. Thank you for coming tonight. all these awards and everything that's going on here tonight inspires me to work harder, and your passion and commitment to our YMCA is amazing. So thank you very much. Have a great night.